Okay, g'day guys. So today we are talking about the dumbbell lunges. Fantastic exercise in order to target your glute adductor complex and even dive into your quads. Very much a glute adductor exercise with a little bit of quad and hamstring involved as well, but very much focused in on this particular region, which is fantastic because if we can develop our hips, that'll transfer into just about every exercise. So for those who may or may not have been exposed to dumbbell lunges, what we're aiming to do while we do a dumbbell lunge is to essentially create right angles. Now, this is the position that ideally we want to be in at the bottom point of the dumbbell lunge. Okay, you can see that my shoulder joint, my hip joint and my knee joint are all in line, and this is how we want to be while we are doing the lunge. So this is the bottom section of the lunge, and then we'll come up, drive into our leg and drive back up. Now, there are a few things at play here, so if you haven't done this particular exercise before, I suggest you start at the bottom and you pop up and down. We're going to talk about full range of motion. Yes, we do want to go all the way down to the ground, all the way back up again. When people complain about knee issues with this particular exercise, so they might be going down all the way down and go, oh, my knees feel really horrible doing this exercise, it is most likely a result of the fact that our knee might be driving too far forward over, which is creating too much strain through this patella tendon here. So what we need to understand is that all our quads insert onto our patella, and the way we create knee flexion is both obviously by our hamstrings and quads, but our patella runs over. Now if we put too much force going forward like this, it's only going to naturally give you so much before it starts to tell you, hey, you know what, you need to ease off on the force driving forward. So that is what we're experiencing, is we're probably coming too far over the knee, which is why when we are doing a dumbbell lunge, we want to make sure that we are keeping our right angles and our torso nice and tall. One of the big issues you see whilst doing a dumbbell lunge is people will lean all the way forward. They'll come down into this position here, lean forward and drive back up. Okay. What happens is you can see that when I am in this position, like I am, about to take off the blocks or whatever, sprinting, you can see how loaded this knee is, which isn't a bad thing if you have okay knees, but also you can see that when I'm in this position here and my body is well and truly over my knee, I have to erect my spine and drive through my back in order to move this load. Okay. That's letting our glute ham complex completely off the chain. And essentially the reason why we are doing this exercise is in order to activate, attack and grow these particular muscles. Okay, we don't want to let them off the hook. We want to test them and push them so that they grow. Okay, create stimulus accumulated over a period of time will result in really good growth. So we want to make sure that when we are coming down, or so if you are new to the exercise, I do suggest starting like this and driving up and down, okay? If you're a bit more advanced and you've been doing this for a period of time, I want you to understand that with a walking lunge, there's a few things that we need to make sure that we are keeping on top of. Number one is that we need to understand there's a deceleration phase and an acceleration phase. So the deceleration phase is when we take a step and we take it slow, okay? That's the deceleration phase. After that, we actually want to explode up and out of the hole. And the reason we want to do this is because the deceleration phase is going to create more stability, more tension, and give us greater results. Also be able to control our descent, touch the knee slightly, drive back up. If we just drop and hit our knee, we're going to cause potentially some knee issues, maybe a little bit of spinal shock depending on where that load is loaded, and cause all sorts of issues. So And also, by just simply falling forward, you may offshoot your balance and you might lean forward, which means you're going to have to pull your back up. So what we are looking to do is we are looking to step, stop, touch, drive. Okay? Now you can see that as soon as I come back up, I'm looking to put my feet together. The reason we want to do this is because then we can reassess, restabilize and go again. Okay, a lot of people will walk straight through, and when they start pushing straight through, they can create potential imbalance, or they can lose their balance, they lose their stability. Now, as everyone knows, whenever we do exercise, we're always looking to move from a stable position at all times. Both the beauty and the bad about this exercise is that we actually are in a very unstable position because of the unilateral nature of this exercise, and that we're using the one leg. Okay, so we're really making these hips vulnerable. So where we can, we need to make sure that we are nice and stable. So if we're going through this exercise, we're setting up and we're doing the walking lunge, or whether or not we're coming backwards, it's very much the same setup. What we're looking to do is pull our shoulder blades back and down, okay, reach to the ground, keep this body up nice and tall, looking ahead. Okay, our hips, you're going to actually start with an activation through your glutes, and I want to make sure that we are keeping that tension through the glutes. We're going to lunge nice and long, create our right angles, control our descent, drive up tall, feet together. Okay, again. Glutes on, shoulder blades reaching back and down. Right. We're going to control our descent, bang, drive up, feet together, or slightly apart. They don't have to be side by side, but just like that. So things to be aware of too with the dumbbells is that our grip also plays a massive role when it comes to the weight. Now, obviously, there is going to be a point in which your grip will be surpassed by your ability to move weight with our legs, okay? When that comes, we need to revert to things like chalk, potentially, not the greatest option here, but straps or Versa lifting straps in order to grip that weight, to attach it to our body as best as possible. What can also then lead from that particular point on is that the dumbbells become too heavy for us to hold through our hands, and so we start to round off like this. Now, if I'm already in a rounded off position and I go to lean forward, there's only one way my body's going to go, especially with such a large load, you know, potentially into the 40, 50, 60, 70 kilo mark dumbbells. When you shift that weight forward, you are naturally going to roll forward, which is going to expose us to that knee potentially overloading, to us losing balance. And it's at that particular point in time that I would suggest that you make your way to the barbell lunge, because of the fact that obviously the barbell is stationed on our back. We can really secure it, set up just like we would for a squat, and that bar's not going to move too far forward because of natural momentum with the nature of the dumbbell being so free to move about doing whatever it wants to do. So if you can hold on to it, do your lunges, and if you enjoy doing lunges with dumbbells, by all means. If you are starting to progress and move into that area where the dumbbell is becoming too easy, too hard, is becoming too hard to grip but easy to move, then strap in, and then when you're strapped in, you're ending up in this position and you're losing your form and your shape, I do then suggest moving your way to the barbell. Okay, little tip. So obviously, if we're looking for right angles and coming down and driving back up, that's not a good example. That there is a much better example. Okay, we don't want to overstep. So another common issue when people do this exercise is that they really overstep and almost create a stretch. Now, we're not looking to stretch. We're not looking to stretch at all. That should have probably been done. Well, if it's a static stretch, post exercise. If it's a dynamic warm-up stretch, and probably pre-exercise, but we are not looking to get into a nice stretch position and then drive back up, okay? We are looking to create stability and keep control of the exercise. So again, when we are coming down, we're looking for right angles, down, drive back up, okay? What's another floor that we can fall into? I think that's about it. Well, team, I hope that helps you develop your dumbbell game. Remember, body tall, points 1, 2, and 3, or 3, sorry, all in a line while you are doing this. Keep your body up. Little tip, find potentially something that is ahead of you that's maybe potentially a little higher than your eye line, so it keeps that head up, especially when you're on your march. When you are doing your walking lunges, come together and remember, on the way down, decelerate, accelerate, plant, go again. All right, team, that there is how you go about doing your dumbbell walking lunges.